Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. I'm sure that a lot of you have probably noticed that I am not uploading at my normal time. This is due to me actually being in the middle of a move. So I do apologize for the delay in videos. It should only last 1 day officially, but I can't make any promises. Nonetheless, this year is going to be eventful. I'm going to be going all in on crypto content, as well as really kind of creating stuff around the space. The Web3 alert is going to be expanding rapidly as well. As you guys are probably all aware, I have been really focused on the Web3 alert in recent time, and I'm going to continue to really kind of build that up. So if you guys do want to go check that out, you guys are more than welcome to, with links down in the description below. But with all of that being said, I do believe that this is going to be a very eventful year for all of crypto, including, of course, regulations. There was a recent episode that Natalie Brunell posted, and this is a podcast. This is a podcast with Hester Pierce. Now, for all of those individuals out there that have been following the SEC case since inception around Ripple and XRP, you all know who Hester Pierce is. When we really look into what was happening with the SEC and why Ripple was targeted, why XRP was targeted, everyone has their own thought process. I'd love to hear from all of you out there on why you believe that Ripple and XRP were targeted out of all of the other cryptocurrencies in this space. Comment down below your thoughts. Now, I've addressed this in the past on why I believe Ripple and XRP were targeted. I personally believe that this was all by plan. And I also think that the SEC case has been nonsense since day one. But here we have from Chad Steingraber. Here is an insight that we got from Hester Pierce. Our job is not to make the law. Congress stepping in with new law, that would be welcome. Now, everyone is under the impression that Congress is going to bring law in this year. But I actually think the opposite. I think that's going to be the FSB, because they are instructed by the G20 with the BIS and the IMF and even the World Bank and a few other participants to actually bring in regulations around crypto by the end of 2025. Now, of course, it could happen sooner. We don't know when it's going to happen. They give us dates. We don't really follow them, right? Because it could happen at any moment. But remember that Ripple was able to comment on those FSB regulations while in the middle of a lawsuit during December of 2022. Gary Gensler, who is the chairman of the SEC, that was looking extremely like it looked like he was on a warpath, right? He allowed Ripple to comment on that regulatory framework as well, because he is a board member of the FSB. Think about how crazy that is. But also, over here, we have the SEC Stabilization Act. Expect to see this. Coinbase, GOP Majority Whip, who is pro-XRP. And here we have American investors and industry deserve clear and consistent oversight, not political gamesmanship. The SEC Stabilization Act will make common sense changes to ensure that the SEC's priorities are with the investors they are charged to protect and not the whims of its reckless chair. Thank you, Representative Davidson, for leading this important effort to restore sanity at the SEC. U.S. capital markets must be protected from a tyrannical chairman, including the current one. That's why I'm introducing legislation to fix the ongoing abuse of power and ensure protection that is the best interest of the market for years to come. It's time for real reform and to fire Gary Gensler as chair of the SEC. So again, this is a bomb being dropped by, of course, Congress. But the big problem here is that a lot of what we are seeing around this, in my opinion, is all nonsense. I don't think that any of this really matters too much, because what we are about to witness is a big shift in the regulatory side of crypto. For a fact, right? We know MiCA, right? MiCA is coming into effect this year. That's what we have been waiting for. Now, this is going to set the stage for regulations, in my opinion. I think Europe is where we will start to see major change happening around regulations, and even the US will follow through, Because again, the race has always been on around who is going to fully embrace crypto. That's why we have these crypto hubs popping up around the world. Obviously, the UK being one of them, the UAE, Hong Kong. There's been so many great areas embracing crypto for what it is. And I do think that once Europe really starts to do this, I think that's endgame. I really do think that the US will have no choice. And that's where XRP really shines. Remember, XRP, by law, we're not talking about, just regulatory clarity. We have clarity from the courts. This is by law. And XRP is cleared for at least 2+ years now, which again has the first foot through the door already. That's what makes XRP extremely lucrative at this point in time. Like, obviously, yes, we should make money off of other great assets in the space as well and diversify, because XRP is usually and typically last to run. So we make money off of these other altcoins while they are having their nice moves, while XRP ranges. And remember, XRP can pop at any moment. I just want that to be clear. That does not mean to go sell XRP and buy another altcoin, hoping for it to go up in value so that you could sell it and rebuy XRP on the low. No, never do that. But diversify and make sure that you are stacking XRP on the sidelines while it's kind of just sitting flat. Because once we see regulations, once we see this entire space change, which we are starting to see already with, Bitcoin ETFs, things like that, it's game over. But also, we have over here, law will be passed to create a level playing field. You know why they use this term. And here we have it. For the regulatory system to function, there must be a level playing field. And this is from the CFTC. Remember, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson met the CFTC commissioner, the one overseeing all of this. Guess where? Over in the UK, London, to be specific. But yes, this level playing field term is very crucial. Listen, I understand how up in arms we can get over, regulations and the moves being made by regulators and things like that. Like, for an example, even over here from Johnny Deaton, we have, you never underestimate the damage the SEC's lawsuit has caused, not only against Ripple, but XRP. 3 years of adoption, that's what it caused. But the problem is, right, is that when we really look at XRP and Ripple, what damage did it really do outside of just suppressing the price? Which I feel as though now that the case is behind us a bit, everyone's still looking at the institutional sales and saying that's going to be the last thing to pump XRP. I don't believe so. I don't think that the institutional sales of XRP matters all that much. In fact, I think that's very bullish that Ripple can't sell XRP outside of the open market. I think them selling XRP and having institutions buying XRP on the open market will create even more demand, which actually would cause XRP to go up in value. So something is still suppressing XRP. I don't believe that it was the case this entire time. But also during this time, and during that time with the SEC case, we have been witnessing Ripple expanding rapidly. XRP also expanding rapidly with the XRP ledger development and adoption. I mean, hell, go look at Singapore. Go look at Hong Kong. These are areas that absolutely love XRP and what Ripple is doing. Even Japan, the UAE, the UK. But here we have, even if you hate Ripple and believe that XRP is trash, if you believe in a free market system with a fair level playing field overseen by a fair and honest regulator, I don't see how you couldn't be disgusted by the SEC's conduct. The thing is that I feel as though we can easily look on the surface and say, wow, the SEC sucks. I can't believe that they're going after Ripple. I can't believe that they went after XRP. I can't believe that they're not going after Ethereum. I can't believe that they're not going after this, that. And it's so easy to get shaken up by this. But remember what I said back in July, right? I said, in my opinion, the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit has been planned since day one. October 2020, Brad Garlinghouse, we're asking for a level playing field. There's that term yet again. And by the way, that level playing field term has been getting thrown around since around like 2015, 2016, maybe even beforehand, calling for a single national regulatory framework. February 2023, the FSB, IMF, and BIS working on a global regulatory framework for crypto with the G20. Soon to be released July, September of this year, which, by the way, this was back in 2023. We got the full update in July and even September. It was a great framework. I personally believe that this is going to be the big thing that really brings a global regulatory framework for every major nation, because again, they don't want fragmentation. December 2022, Ripple has the opportunity to comment on the international regulation of crypto asset activities with who? Oh yeah, that's right, the FSB, who, like I said, Gary Gensler is a board member of. Meanwhile, they are still in a lawsuit and XRP is a security, right? Laugh out loud, sure. In the Ripple response, we see that quote yet again, level playing field. A global regulatory framework will create a harmonized approach to crypto and ensure that we don't cause more fragmentation in terms of regulations. The lawsuit against Ripple and XRP was intended to streamline crypto regulations. It also slowed the technology down for the infrastructure and standards to be put in place. And here you guys can actually see level playing field. This goes all the way back to October of 2020, even before the lawsuit, by the way. And again, during that time, single national regulatory framework, the lawsuit came in October, December, 2 months later. And then also over here, FSB, IMF, and BIS papers to set global crypto framework, says G20. And also on the next slide, December 15th, 2022, Financial Stability Board. This is from Ripple. They're commenting on it. Then also on the last slide here, level playing field globally. Again, this is what they want. This is what's going to happen as well. But then we also have this. Now we know what the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit was all about. A weapon, hold down the competition, Ripple XRP, so that they could roll out a monopoly using Ethereum. ETHgate continues, and so does our fight for a level playing field. Oh, and for the record, regulatory clarity is different from legal clarity. XRP has legal clarity, Ethereum does not. Now listen, I understand that we could get all up in arms about how Ethereum is trash, Ethereum is this, whatever. Remember that we don't need to be sitting here and saying XRP is so much more efficient than Ethereum. We already know this, right? We already get that. The big thing to understand, right, is that in my opinion, and this is what I've been talking about for a little bit of time now, and addressing with some of these other great projects in the space like Casper, Hedera, Algorand, you name it. I feel as though Ethereum has been the breeding ground for institutions to test blockchain. I mean, hell, JP Morgan, their Onyx platform is built upon Ethereum private technology. The private blockchain of Ethereum is the one that has been being pioneered by these institutions. I feel as though they were testing the waters. I think that they got enough information that they need out of Ethereum. And I feel as though the flood from Ethereum over to the XRP ledger, to Hedera, to Casper, to Algorand, to Stellar, you name it, that's going to happen. I personally see that happening very fast too. Once we see regulations, the adoption of blockchain and DLT is going to heat up. It's going to be a blaze. And it's going to be something that you can't slow down. And talking about that, they're not going to, utilize something like Ethereum that gas fees are outrageous. Once the network starts to have any major demand, you can't even scale it. It's extremely inefficient. But this is from Ryan Rugg, the head of digital assets, Citi. You'll never guess what blockchain Citi built their digital tokens on while Ripple was tied up in a 2+ year lawsuit with the SEC. This talk reminds me of a talk with Brad Garlinghouse was doing 4 years ago. Listen closely to this. And by the way, I'm putting it to 1.5x. If it is too fast, you guys are more than welcome to slow it down. This got posted back in September of 2023. But I'm bringing it back up because I feel as though this market and individuals in it are being diverted from the facts here.
So if you think you're a large multinational client where you have multiple bank accounts in multiple different regions, cross-border, and you keep buffers of cash in each of these regions, it's really an inefficient use of cash. So think of the future where you can do just-in-time funding. If it's Saturday or it's Friday night, 5 p.m. in the US and 5 a.m. in Singapore, but you need to get money there, you can send that immediately within seconds. And I think that really adds the kind of like that benefit for clients. And then the programmability is also really important functionality that we're adding. So our, free token services for trade with smart contracts to be able to, and again, a smart contract is just a series of if this happens, then do that. So, if this contract, is executed, then release release the funds, and fully automated, no paper, really enabling clients for that, always on infrastructure.
So that is tokenized deposits. On either that front or the smart contracts front, can you say, are there clients that you are able to share with us, just to give us a little example of how this is being implemented in the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. So Maersk is one of our large pilot clients that we did. And as Maersk passed through a canal, they automatically pre-funded a smart contract with tokens. And then once they received the services, the token was automatically paid out. So as you can imagine, trade is a very paper-ridden, not digital first kind of business that we're looking to digitize and add those efficiencies for our clients.
How do you see Citi expanding on these capabilities down the road?
Yeah, so we've built a platform on a ERC20 EVM compatible protocol, which is really important. There's a lot of legislation out there in the marketplace right now in regards to stablecoins and crypto. And if any of these bills pass and our clients want to start using these, we'll have an enabled platform. So having this ERC20 token, which will be fungible, today, day one, we're doing it for tokenized deposits, cash management, efficiencies in trade, but really future-proofing and working with clients to build this out. So, we mentioned Maersk, which is one of our pilot clients, and really helping to build out the functionality in our roadmap, which includes not just the Citi token. We want to work with other banks, like we've done on the regulated liability network with the Fed and other banks. Clients don't want, individual bank tokens. They want multi-token, multi-border liquidity for added efficiencies.
And I think what you just said means that you are using a permissioned version of the Ethereum blockchain. And we've been talking about this for several months now. We talked about it together earlier this year in the spring. But public blockchains, I know it's early in the game, and this is, the way you're doing it now is the way you have to do it. But do you ever see there being a day or a reason for Citi itself or for a bank in general to implement public blockchains?
It's going to really depend on regulation, in my opinion, because right now it's only permissible for us to be on a permission chain. So if regulation changes and regulators get comfortable with public, we will definitely go down that route. But right now, from a regulatory standpoint, we're sticking with permission. So it really depends, I think, on that. And as you know, today we've talked about in the past, it's very bifurcated across the different regions, right? Between the US, EMEA, Asia, the different regulations coming out in this space. So it'll be, I think, more to come kind of in the future on that. But, we're making it where we are future-proofing our system, that if that does happen, we can move to a public chain.
Tokenization really has been the theme of the year. And I think even, we were talking this spring about how it's not the first time we've been through this. And I think even back then it was still a little bit early, but it is interesting to have gone these next few months and seen just the excitement build around it, both, I think, from where I sit within the financial services industry, but also on the crypto side, talking to VCs and with developers. How do you see an announcement like this or a development like this, rather, from an institution like Citi, affect adoption of these technologies, which really has been on a long journey being kind of crypto specific and now hitting a big institution like Citi?
I think it's really important for our clients. Everything we do is very client-centric. And as our clients are embarking on this journey, we've had inbounds from them for a trusted partner like Citi to partner with them on this. So here I am, I'm sure you can hear the background at Cybos right now with, several entities that have made announcements, as well as like Swift, who's talking about a consortium in this space. So you're seeing more and more enterprises enter their space as their clients are requesting that. And I think that will continue as we move to the next evolution from retail into enterprise.
Now, like I said, right?
So if you think you're a large multinational...
As she's talking about Swift entering the market, enterprises entering the market, at the end of the day, you're not going to have millions and billions of transactions settled on Ethereum in a day-to-day basis. You're just not. Even a private Ethereum blockchain, you're still not going to see that. Why? Because it is too inefficient. This is why we look for the next big one, the third generation of this technology, the XRP-L, XDC, XLM, Hedera, Casper, you name it. Everyone is so caught up on XRP is done, Ethereum is going to replace it. It's ridiculous. Have we not been around this space for the last 4, 5, 6 years? I mean, seriously, when we look at Ethereum and we look at XRP, it is night and day. You don't even need to be experienced in crypto to understand which one is far more efficient. Now, XRP has always been looked at as the weapon to kill this monopoly system, which is why the big banks like Citi will be the last ones to adopt XRP, to tap into the Ripple network. They're not going to give up power so easily. That's why we see JP Morgan going out and having Jamie Dimon, the spokesperson, to say, Bitcoin's utilized for this, Bitcoin's utilized for that, and it's nothing good. It's all criminal activity. If I was, I would shut it down tomorrow. It's like, listen, we know why they're saying this. It's because they don't want this level playing field. They want to keep running the monopoly system. That's why when we look at XRP and we look at Ripple, they have always been the weapon to the big banks. The big banks don't want something like this succeeding. That's why they will go to the regulators and they'll say, You know, you need to go after this one. You need to go after that one. But again, I still feel as though this lawsuit has been planned since day one. Everything that we have been witnessing in the last few years, to me, just looks and feels like it's one big stage, and they're just playing the play for the retail sector, and the retail sector has been following it for a while. We all know Ripple and XRP have these major deep connections with these big elites. I mean, hell, the BIS and the IMF alone on this FSB global regulatory framework. Ripple just joined the BIS back in the summer of 2023. The IMF has been holding private meetings with Brad Garlinghouse for well over 6+ years now. I mean, you seriously don't need to say, oh, I don't think Ripple and XRP are being utilized because Ethereum got the free pass. No, just look at the private meetings. Go look at the connections. When we really look at what Ripple and XRP are becoming, they've already infiltrated the elite system. All we have to do is remain patient and calm. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Also, 63% off right now. Guys, go check out NordVPN. There's going to be links down in the description below as well as in the comments below. You could actually pay with crypto. That's the best VPN service out there. I'm telling you guys right now, I've utilized so many in just the last 2 months alone. You can never be too secure in crypto. Go check out NordVPN. Links down in the description below, so in the comments below. But with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.